everybody, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and in today's lesson we're going to show you how to play Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Now this is a Christmas standard, and it's a bit old school, it's a bit of a jazzy tune, and that means that it has quite a few chords. And I've simplified it down so that they're not the most difficult chords, but there still are a lot of chords. There's a few sections to this song, so we're going to break it down, learn it bit by bit. Now this song uses some basic open chords, but it also uses a couple bar chords. And if you need help with either of those, I recommend checking out our free ebook that goes over all the basics, chord switching, strumming, all the foundations of guitar. And we also have a mini series covering bar chords that should help you out with the 2 bar chord shapes that we have in this tune. We're going to start out with the chords for the first section, and there's 4 chords here. They're all actually pretty basic open chords. Our first chord is G, and then we go to E minor, then I switch to A minor 7. And sometimes it's helpful to get your thumb over the top here and lightly touch the low string just to mute it so you don't accidentally get that low note. From there we go to a D chord. And for D I also cover that low string, so I kind of just leave my thumb there. And that's all we need to play the first section. So let's take a look now at the chord order. We're just going to do downstrokes only, nothing fancy with the rhythm yet. We're just going to focus on making nice, clean chord switches. We're going to start on G, and I'll count us in nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now that we have the chords for the first section, let's take a look at the strumming pattern, which goes like this. So that's a really easy strumming pattern. I'll do it nice and slow. 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. And we can break that up into 2 parts. The first part is so simple. We just do a downstroke on beats 1 and 2. 3, 4, 1, 2. So that's really simple. And the second part is down, down, up. And that's on beat 3, 4, and. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and. 1, 2, down, down, up. And when you put that all together with the counting, 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if you find that your rhythm isn't really tight, or you feel like you're one of those people that doesn't have a good sense of rhythm, your problem isn't that you don't have a good sense of rhythm, it's that you're not taking the time to count it out and to make sure that everything is laid out in the exact right place. Anyways, we're now ready to put the strumming pattern together with the chords, so let's do that nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. To play the next part, we'll need 3 new chord shapes. We have D over F sharp. Then we have C, and that's a basic open chord. You can put your thumb over the top to mute the lowest string. And then we have a bar chord, B minor 7. And a good way to think of this is to actually go to the A minor 7 chord, and we're going to play it with these 2 fingers instead. and then we drag it up 1, 2 times, and we bar the 2nd fret. We've already gone over the rest of the chords in this section, so now let's take a look at the chord order. Once again, we're going to do downstrokes only and just focus on the chord shapes. Here we go, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before we play this with the strumming pattern, we just need to figure out how we're going to get through those first few chords, because they're going by quite quickly once we speed it up, and it's actually really simple. We just do a downstroke on each chord. So starting on G, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then here we would start doing our strumming pattern again. Just take a minute with that. We're going to do a play along. We're going to play it together nice and slow. You can rewind this and try this as many times as you need to. I'm going to do it a little slower than usual. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next part is really similar to the part we just played. It just ends a little bit differently. So it starts out the same way. And then here it's going to be a bit different. So first let's take a look at the chord shapes we need. We're going to need the B7 chord. And then we're going to need G7. So let's look at the chord order. Remember, it starts out the same as the last part, just the end is different. Starting on a G chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do that with the strumming pattern, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have one part left, and for this last part, we're going to need 4 new chord shapes. First, we have C major 7, and this one's pretty easy. It's just a C chord, and we take off our first finger. Then we have C sharp half diminished, and this chord sounds crazy, and it can be. You can play it like that or like that, and it can be kind of difficult, but here's a really easy way to do it. It really works well in this key. We're just going to put our third finger on the 4th fret of the A string. We're going to get our thumb muting the low string, and we're going to lean our hand so that we're also muting the D string. See how the underside of this finger, if I just lean it in there, it'll lightly touch that string. So mute, 4, mute, and then open, open, open. That's a really ominous sounding chord, really cool sound. Then we have F sharp 7. And that's actually the same shape as the B minor 7 that we've been playing already, I've just moved the whole thing over this way. So it might be a good idea to go back and forth between B minor 7 and F sharp 7, just going. Just a few times, just to get used to it. And the last chord is really simple, it's just E, E major this time. We've been playing E minor, now we have an E major chord. And now we're gonna take a look at the chord order, and this section's pretty long. Like I said, this song doesn't have a bunch of difficult stuff in it. Aside from the bar chords, those are a bit more intermediate. There's just a lot of stuff, you know, there's tons of different chords in this tune. Anyways, we're gonna start this one off on that C major 7 chord, downstrokes only, just counting, strumming, getting a feel for the chord switching. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know that there's quite a lot going on in this tune, especially in that last part. It might help if you just watch that downstrokes part again and just write down the chords in order and just practice out every switch. You know, the more time you invest into this, you're not just investing time into this song, you're also going to be investing time into other songs that use similar chords. You know, you're going to build up your dexterity. So it really is worth the time breaking it down. Anyways, when you're ready, we're going to try this next part, this last part together with the strumming pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how you play Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Please just take your time with each section. I know it can be a bit tough to work through it all, but with a little bit of practice, you should be able to get this one down. And it's a really good tune to start working on some bar chords with as well. So have at her, you know, challenge yourself, and I'll see you next time.